Northwoods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, an accident in Presque Isle leaves one man dead following a medical event that led to a crash. Plus, a massive trove of documents was released regarding the Lewiston mass shooting that could shed more light on the tragic event. And a local Maine group is working to start launching rockets of their own into space. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. Happy Monday. I'm Emma Smith and thank you very much for tuning in this morning. Let's start the day off with a check of that forecast. Meteorologist Devin Biggs joins us now.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by SR1 Companies. Visit SR1 in Herman, Turner, Manchester, and Orono for the best prices on trailers, campers, and tractors, heavy equipment, and more. SR1 Companies, where New England's largest selection meets unbeatable prices. All right, let's get into things this morning. Some areas of dense fog greeting us near parts of Bar Harbor, maybe over in parts of Washington County this morning. This will all begin to taper off coming up later on today, as we'll also be watching out for chances for showers. Looks like we've had some of that developing last night. Looks like we'll have a little bit more developing this morning and again this afternoon with this area low pressure rotating off to the north. Now give us some showers in the northern parts of the state as well as in the southern parts of the state as well. Let's zoom things out. That's mainly the main action right now. This area low pressure here setting some showers in our direction as well as some showers and storms over parts of the Atlantic Ocean at this time. Futurecast moving forward again. Scattered showers on the way for us today. Things calm down later on tonight as we'll be under a mostly clear sky with areas of dense fog possible across the region. As for the winds, they'll pick up a little bit today with sustained winds getting close to around 12 miles per hour at times with gusts up to 20 miles per hour possible at times as well. So coming up for today, lower 70s, mostly cloudy, showers possible with that west wind getting up to around 20 miles per hour at times. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period showing a mixture of clouds and sunshine, scattered showers for the afternoon period, temperatures in the 70s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Emma?
Thank you, Devin. We'll check in with you a little later on. All right, now for local news. One person has died following a crash in Presque Isle Friday evening. According to the Presque Isle Police Department, emergency services were notified of a single vehicle crash on the Cleves Road around 6:30 p.m. Police say the vehicle had left the roadway, struck a building, and rolled back across the road into a field. Police and the property owner attempted to provide aid to the operator, but the operator of that vehicle, Richard Prue, was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say it is believed Prue suffered a major medical event which ultimately led to that crash. Maine State Police are investigating a child's death in the town of Limerick. On June 1st, first responders were called to a residence on North Shore Drive for an injured child. A state police spokesperson says 6-year-old Lucy Morgan received an unintentional injury while playing outside with her 10-year-old brother. According to the spokesperson, the aluminum shaft on a badminton racket became dislodged from the wooden handle, causing the shaft to strike the girl in the head and pierce her skull. Lucy was taken to a hospital and later airlifted to Maine Medical Center in Portland. She died from her injuries on Thursday. The family is from New Jersey and were vacationing in Maine at the time of the incident. A Maine State trooper fatally shot a man at a home in Hiram on Friday. State police responded to a call about a possible domestic violence incident happening inside a home on Aaron Drive. According to a state police spokesperson, Trooper Zachary Fancy entered the home where he was confronted by a man who pointed a firearm in his direction. The trooper fired his weapon, killing the man. The man was identified as 39-year-old Stephen Nelson of Hiram. The Attorney General's office has been called in to investigate the use of force in the matter. Trooper Fancy was placed on administrative leave, which is a standard practice in any officer-involved shooting here in Maine. A crash involving a motorcycle in Augusta killed one person and injured another. According to police, a 77-year-old man from Augusta was making a left-hand turn onto North Belfast Avenue a little before 9 Thursday morning. Police say 21-year-old Hunter Davis of Augusta was riding his motorcycle east on North Belfast Avenue at the time of the crash. Davis was transported to the hospital via life flight, where he died as a result of his injuries. The 77-year-old man was taken to the hospital to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries. The crash remains under investigation. The driver in a crash that killed 4 Maine Maritime Academy students in December of 2022 received his sentence in court on Friday. A judge sentenced 21-year-old Joshua Radding to 18 years in prison, with all but 3 years suspended. He'll also serve 3 years probation. During the hearing, Radding addressed the the families of the victims.
The night of December 10th plays over and over in my head every day and every night. They were my best friends, and I loved them more than anything. We did everything together, and I never meant to hurt them. I really want to say I'm sorry to the family of Chase Fawcett. I'm really sorry to the family of Luke Simpson. I'm sorry to the family of Riley Cameron. I'm sorry to the family of Brian Keeley.
Family members of one of the victims spoke during the sentencing and offered their forgiveness. The latest in the search for answers in the Lewiston mass shooting, the Maine Department of Public Safety releasing a massive amount of new documents on Friday afternoon related to the investigation. Dan Lampriello has been sifting through the thousands of pages and has more.
These new documents were released after the I-Team and other Maine news agencies requested them months ago. They range from search warrants and interviews to the evidence that was collected at the crime scenes as well as the shooter's home. Many are heavily redacted, but we are learning some new details. One of the biggest takeaways came from the search of Robert Card's home. It didn't happen until 14 hours after the shooting at Smenge's Bar as well as Just in Time Recreation. But once investigators did get inside his home, they found his phone, an arsenal of weapons, as well as a handwritten note from Card himself. It appears that note was left for a family member to read because it gave off locations of accounts and passwords. But Card also wrote in that note, "Love you and enjoy your life. Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story, I guess. I just wanted to play cornhole with my hot girlfriend and be left the expletive alone." Documents also outline the evidence collected inside of Card's home. That included medical records, a pill bottle, though the type of medication was redacted, numerous guns, as well as hollow point rounds of ammunition. A night vision monocle was also found in his gun safe.
There are still many more documents to go through, but the website housing them went down Friday afternoon due to what state police call technical difficulties. According to our media partners, WGME, state police are working to get it back up and running, but that may not happen until at least tonight. And that was Dan Lampriello reporting. In other news, firefighters called for a second alarm Sunday morning in Levant as they battled a structure fire that left a garage completely destroyed. Crews responded to the Hodgson Road just before 10 a.m. after a homeowner reported that their 4-bay garage was on fire. Levant Fire Chief Eric Strout says the building was fully engulfed upon arrival, but nobody was injured or inside at the time.
So when we first got here, we had some challenges. We had utility lines that had come down on this one-way Hodgson Road, which created its own set of challenges to navigate around for the safety. We got on scene. We did have a 4-bay garage that had heavy fire from all 4 sides of the building itself.
There were no vehicles inside the garage, and Chief Strout says the home was not impacted by the fire as the garage was not attached and was more than 100 feet away from the residence. At this time, the fire department has not released the official cause of the fire. A fast-moving fire was a real battle for fire crews in Millinocket yesterday morning as well. If it wasn't for mutual aid and quick thinking, crews in the town, it could have been much worse. Flames broke out around 9 a.m. on Medway Road in Millinocket, completely engulfing and destroying a garage. Crews were still fighting embers and helping clean up into the early afternoon. Several mutual aid fire crews from as far as Lincoln fought the blaze, watching for exposure to nearby homes.
Upon arrival, garage was fully involved. We had fire spreading to the adjacent home on the property as well as to the neighbor's adjacent home. Crews began attacking the fire on each house.
No one was hurt in the incident. The fire marshal's office was called to the scene to investigate the cause. The Millinocket fire chief said homeowners are relocating with family and friends. The Maine Air National Guard was on display Friday as Senator Susan Collins, along with the Secretary of Air Force, stopped in for a tour of the facility. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bichard has the story.
Secretary of the Air Force Frank Kendall stopped and toured the Maine Air National Guard base in Bangor on Friday. He made the stop after being in Normandy for the 80th celebration of D-Day.
Yeah, it's extremely humbling to have Secretary Kendall visit the Maine Air Guard today. It's rare. It's never happened in my 20 years being a member of the Maine Air National Guard.
The visit with the Secretary went extraordinarily well.
Secretary Kendall spent around 3 hours touring the base and talking with a group of over 650 service members.
I think he learned a lot about the vital mission played in refueling aircraft by this base.
Secretary Kendall showed a genuine appreciation of the airmen here at the 101st Air Fueling Wing, and it was very nice to see that support.
Senator Collins used the opportunity to advocate for the modernization of the Air National Guard equipment and infrastructure.
The KC-135 that is behind me is 50 years old. We need new tankers. The new tankers are called the KC-46, and I am trying to get Bangor moved up the list to get a new aircraft as soon as possible. This base has an extraordinary record when you look at productivity. For example, during the war with Afghanistan, this base did more refuelings than any base, active or reserve, on the entire East Coast.
In Bangor, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, the time now is 6:11. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, every baby born at the Maine Coast Hospital in Ellsworth will be receiving a care package, including books and a voucher for a new library card. We'll hear all about it, but before we go, let's take another quick look at that forecast. Overcast today, rain is possible in the PM hours, high of 72 degrees for your Monday. Overnight tonight, it'll be clear, although some fog will move in, high about low of 50 degrees. Tomorrow warmer than today, although another chance of rain, high of 78 degrees for your Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Bad boy mowers aren't built for everyone. They're built for the bold, the originals, people who get the job done and love every second of it. Bad boys are built for horsepower and cutting-edge precision with a first-of-its-kind 3-link suspension and a style all their own. Because you're not everyone, and that's a good thing. Bad boy, mow with an attitude.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Hi, Eastern Maine. Watch Person, Place, or Thing right here on ABC7, weekdays starting at 10 a.m.
A former fashion designer turned farm owner in Northport is helping Mainers feel good about themselves from the inside out.
It's not just what you taste, it's how you feel. And that's become really the core mission of our business.
We'll share more about Gray's Maine tonight on ABC 7 News at 6.
Mainers reaching for the stars. That's what a space company in our state is now planning to do by launching a series of small satellites. Brunswick-based Blue Shift Aerospace says the fast-growing small satellite market currently relies on large players such as SpaceX to get their tech into orbit, and that has very long wait times. Instead, the company wants to do it themselves, right here on the coast of Maine.
Yeah, we're really excited about what we're doing here in Maine. We realize that it's still, it's still jarring in some ways to see big space, big rockets launching from Texas, Florida, and imagine that Maine is doing something similar.
But Derry says they are, in fact, not doing something similar, as they're launching smaller rockets in more environmentally conscious ways. Blue Shift says they have raised enough money to begin work next year and hope to start launching satellites in 2026. The Ellsworth Public Library has many events to promote reading to kids, and a new literacy initiative partnership with Northern Light Health will provide free library cards to the littlest of little ones. Every baby born at the Maine Coast Hospital in Ellsworth will receive welcome packages from the library, including board books and a voucher for a free library card. The program is funded through money dedicated to the late Melanie Zador, who volunteered at the hospital and was vice president of the Friends of Ellsworth Library. The card is completely free, regardless of where a baby and parent may reside. Over 3 million used needles were exchanged in 13 Maine communities just last year. According to the Maine Center for Disease Control, Response, and Prevention, syringe services programs are crucial to reducing the risk of blood-borne infections, such as hepatitis and HIV. In 2023, syringe services programs collected over 3.1 million used syringes, distributed over 3.6 million new syringes, conducted 373 total HIV tests, and provided 2,574 people with naloxone. The director of the Maine CDC says this program is essential to their mission.
Why is that important? It's important because, it helps provide these clean needles so that people don't share needles or reuse dirty needles, right? And that is one of the routes of how blood-borne diseases are spread.
Currently, Maine has 13 syringe service programs operating across the state. Day one of the annual Special Olympics Maine State Summer Games kicked off on Friday at the University of Maine. With around 2,500 competitors from across the state, one organizer tells us it'll be one of the largest sporting events here this year. Friday's events included unified relays and bocce competitions. This year, 121 bocce teams competed in the event, making it the highest participation in the Summer Games history.
Athletes are trained and they know the oath. Let me win. If I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt. And to be able to see an athlete finish 8th place in an 8-person heat and to see them just as excited because they got 8th place, because they were part of this group, part of this organization, part of the process. I think that says it all.
The games went through Saturday, starting at 9 a.m. A group of hardworking students in Levant got to ride to school in style thanks to the local fire department. All year, 4th graders at Levant Elementary have been participating in the fire prevention education program taught by the Levant Fire and Rescue Department. The students who completed and passed in all of their homework from the program were put in a drawing for a ride to school in a fire truck. The lucky few selected got to ride around town and were dropped off at school by the fire department, but that wasn't where the fun ended. Nine students were also given the chance to pie Levant firefighter Steve DeWitt in the face.
That's what it's about. You put in hard work, and you're trying to teach something, and they're kids this age are sponges, so they're taking that home to their parents.
Steve is a really good sport, doing it for all the right reasons. He says if all of the next year's class can complete their homework, they'll get to shave his head. That's a lot of fun. All right, the time now is 6:19. After the break, June is Pride Month, and we'll take a look at how some places around Maine celebrated over the weekend. More of this as Good Morning Maine continues.
Hello, this is George Whelan with Down East Direct Cremation. Now, anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, from the comfort of your desktop or the convenience of your mobile device, you can summon transport and arrange a simple, affordable, respectful, Down East Direct Cremation for your deceased loved one. Just by using the button exclusively at downeastdirectcremation.com. All you need is the location address of the person who has died, their vital statistics information, a valid credit card for payment, and that's it. No need to pick up the telephone, no need to answer a bunch of questions, no need to come into the store, and it's still just $9.75 complete. It's so easy, even I can do it. For more information, visit us at downeastdirectcremation.com or call us at 207-225-5332. Simple, affordable, respectful. The Button, only at downeastdirectcremation.com.
I was injured in a motorcycle accident and called Joe Bornstein's office for a free case evaluation. These guys are really good. They work hard and they really do fight for you. I was able to recover from my injuries while they took care of all the important details, and there were a lot of them. I highly recommend the law offices of Joe Bornstein to anyone injured in a motorcycle accident. For those who ride, keep Joe by your side.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. Pride Month celebrations are kicking off throughout Maine this month. Community members gathered at Knowlton Park in Ellsworth for the city's 4th annual Pride Festival. Our Grace Blanchard has the story.
There's so many reasons to be proud of Ellsworth right now, and that's what we are. We are proud, and we're not going away. We're here.
The annual Ellsworth Pride Festival has become a community celebration that many look forward to every June.
We are here to celebrate Pride and promote the civil rights of the LGBTQ+ community.
The city's first festival in 2021 was inspired by students from Ellsworth High School who wanted to bring attention to bullying against members of the LGBTQ+ community.
I'm a teacher at Ellsworth High School, and so we've talked a lot in recent years about bullying. And if you really want to solve that problem, you have to really consider who is being bullied and why, and who is not included in community conversations.
When I was in high school, it was still legal to discriminate against our lesbian and gay friends and family members.
Secretary of State and Ellsworth High School alumni Shenna Bellows also made an appearance, sending a message before the upcoming primary election that everyone has a right to participate in our democracy.
So to have a celebration like this, where the community across generations is celebrating that right to be yourself, to love who you love, to be in community with each other, that means a lot to me.
To learn about more upcoming Pride events, visit our website, foxbangor.com. In Ellsworth, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And over in Belfast, the community didn't let Saturday's weather rain on their parade. Our Kelly Warren takes us to the heart of the city for a look at their festivities.
Despite a downpour, hundreds attended the Belfast Pride Parade and Festival on Saturday.
And I hope people feel really comfortable with the parade, with the community, with it all despite the downpour.
All of the Pride Month festivities for the city were organized by the Belfast Area High School Gender and Sexuality Alliance.
What's especially great is the fact that it's the students who really drove it. It went away because of COVID, and they said we really want to have it back, and they took it and pushed it.
Organizers say the Pride Festival was an opportunity to celebrate Belfast's LGBTQ+ community.
This is just natural and normal and just very welcoming and open.
They also say bringing the event to life was a group effort.
I don't know if it really hits, like the realization fits in that I'm so instrumental in it. It feels a lot more like a group project where everyone's actually pitching in rather than just being like the one person leading it all, because the community is just so great.
In addition to Saturday's celebration, a Pride-themed art installation will be placed in Heritage Park down by the Belfast waterfront later this month. In Belfast, Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
It was quite rainy over the weekend. I know a handful of Pride celebrations were rained on because of that. And the time now is 6:24, and it seems as though the rain is continuing on into your Monday and Tuesday. Let's get a check of that forecast with meteorologist Evan Biggs.
All righty, Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by SR1 Companies. Visit SR1 in Herman, Turner, Manchester, and Orono for the best prices on trailers, campers, tractors, heavy equipment, and more. SR1 Companies, where New England's largest selection meets unbeatable prices. Already, wave heights, let's check in on those this morning at around 2 to 4 feet according to the buoys out there. For now, we have no advisories in effect offshore or onshore for that matter as well. Meanwhile, though, we do have some areas of dense fog fog, very localized in a few spots this morning near parts of Bar Harbor and maybe in parts of Washington County as well. Whatever's developing out there will be going away coming up later on today. And meanwhile, though, we are going to be watching for showers that will be moving in. We have an area low pressure up in parts of Canada right now, sending rain in the northern parts of Maine and as well as in the southern parts as well. Once we reach the central parts of the state, we're seeing a few showers developing. We'll see a few more of those developing on and off throughout the daytime period as that area low pressure slowly but surely tracks off towards the north and east. It's not really moving all that quickly. It's also causing some showers and storms across parts of the Atlantic Ocean. We're even seeing a little bit more activity in the southern parts of the U.S. as well. So futurecast moving forward for us. We have the showers on the way, especially in the northern parts of the state today. We have a little bit more in our neck of the woods as well. Coming up later on tonight, we will calm things down. Mostly clear skies, areas of dense fog possible to watch out for as we head towards early Tuesday morning. Otherwise, so maybe a few showers again for Tuesday afternoon with, again, mostly cloudy with a few showers as we get some of that daytime heating going. But notice again, this all gets out of here by Tuesday night. Some clouds and fog possible again Tuesday night and the parts of Wednesday morning. So as for the rainfall for today, some spots, especially in the northern parts of the state, could see up to a quarter of an inch, if not more, before we're all finished up. Lower amounts possible further down toward the south. And then running this through for the rest of the week, a little bit more rainfall, but most of it will stay in the northern parts of the state. Otherwise, though, some gusty winds possible today, reaching up around 25 miles per hour at times. At its peak, most of us should stop at around 20 miles per hour before the winds back off later on tonight, and maybe a little bit of wind on the way, especially near the coastline as we head towards the daytime tomorrow. So the forecast coming up for today, lower 70s, mostly cloudy, showers on the way, and that west wind gusting up to around 20 miles per hour at its maximum at times. Later on tonight, lower 50s, mostly clear, areas of dense fog possible with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Tomorrow, here we go, partly cloudy, a few showers possible again with the daytime heating, highs in the upper 70s, that southwest wind getting up to around 5 miles per hour. All right, let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by SR1 Companies, showing showers and thunderstorms possible on Wednesday with highs in the upper 70s, lower 80s for your Thursday under a partly cloudy sky, more showers and thunderstorms possible Friday with highs in the upper 70s.
It all starts with a Chevy truck. Chevy Silverado with the TurboMax engine and best-in-class standard torque. And Chevy Silverado HD with up to 14 available camera views. Do more in a Chevy truck. Get yours now. Get $5,750 total value on this Silverado when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 10% below MSRP. Visit your main Chevy dealers.
When R&K Variety in Hamden wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. R&K Variety is more than just a convenience store, offering fresh cooked meals that don't break the bank, gasoline for your mean machines, or beer and wine so your night is fine. Stop by today.
Great Scott! This is Green Bear 420 in 2010. What kind of trip is this? I gotta get back to 2023. Wait, it's 2015. So much has changed. In 2023, we had a lot more glass, t-shirts, and novelties. It's gonna take a bolt of lightning to get me home. Finally, home at last. Now Green Bear 420, Green Bear Green Care is bigger and better than ever. To be continued.
Let Hellman's Bakery put a smile on your face with their tasty offerings of breads, baked beans, lasagna, tuche and turkey pies, fruit and cream pies, wedding and specialty cakes, pastries, and more. Hillman's, your hometown bakery, Fairfield.
Welcome to 207 Collectibles, your ultimate destination for all things collectible and gaming, where every dream comes true and a little magic is always in stock. Whether you're looking for vintage video consoles or games, Pokemon, D&D, Magic cards, NASCAR collectibles, board games, or even Funkos, we've got it all. Come visit 207 Collectibles. Your collection is our passion.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
On Sunday, the Israeli army released footage of what it says shows the operation to rescue 4 hostages from Gaza a day earlier. Soldiers can be seen running out of military vehicles, and troops are shown on a beach as a helicopter flies over. The unscathed hostages were escorted by soldiers as they walked along the sand. Gaza's health ministry says at least 274 Palestinians were killed in the Israeli air and ground raid to obtain these hostages. The ministry says around 700 people were injured. The air and ground assault into central Gaza on Saturday was the largest rescue operation since the conflict between Israel and Gaza began 8 months ago. Benny Gantz, a centrist member of Israel's war cabinet, announces his resignation after saying he would leave the government on Saturday if Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu did not come up with a new plan for post-war Gaza by then. Although the resignation is alarming, it will not pose an immediate threat to Netanyahu, who still controls a majority coalition in parliament. But he will need to rely more heavily on his far-right allies. The popular former military chief joined the government after the October 7th attack by Hamas, a move that boosted Israel's international credibility, as Gantz has a good relationship with U.S. officials. A remarkable story of survival from a Georgia man. He was hiking a volcano in Central America when he says he fell hundreds of feet off of a cliff and was lost for days. Zane Olaney was hiking on a volcano in Guatemala last month when he says he got separated from his group, then fell 400 feet off of a cliff. Olaney bruised his kidney and shoulder in the fall, and his cell phone was dead. So for 4 nights, he slept inside caves and even trees. Olaney said he survived on a peanut butter jelly sandwich and some bananas he had packed. He says he even shared his food with a dog he found. After 4 days of no contact, Olaney stumbled onto a road used by farmers where he ran into police. Olaney is now working to bring that dog back to Georgia. Well, the Food and Drug Administration expands approval for pharmaceutical company GSK's RSV vaccine. The department expanded approval for the GSK RSV vaccine to extend to adults down to 50 years old who are at a higher risk of severe RSV or respiratory syncytial virus. The pharmaceutical company previously asked the FDA to expand approval beyond adults 60 and older back in February. The next step for the vaccine is to have the recommendation approved by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices before it can be administered to adults between 50 and 59 years old. Further trials for the vaccine plan on looking at adults between 18 and 49 years old. GSK says results for that are expected in the second half of 2024. All right, coming up on the second half of the newscast, I had the opportunity last week to get behind the wheel of a race car with Maine's own Delaney Dunn, and we'll take you to the track to show off her need for speed as Good Morning Maine continues.
GMA This Morning, we're turning back the clock to the 1980s, and we're even inviting you into the Brat Pack with original Brat Packer Andrew McCarthy and his new film everyone's talking about this morning on GMA.
For taking on New England's extreme conditions, Toyota has more hybrid all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive models than any other brand. No wonder Toyota has sold 5 times more hybrids than its nearest competitor, like the quick and powerful RAV4 hybrid with up to a 566-mile total driving range. Take on extreme conditions with Toyota's proven hybrid technology. See your New England Toyota dealer, your hybrid all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
While politicians talked, President Trump fought for working people. He took on China and secured the border. I'm Austin Terrio, former NASCAR driver and small business owner. I'm proud to have President Trump's endorsement. Together we'll secure the border, stop Biden's electric vehicle mandate, and bring back American manufacturing. I'll fight to make sure our best days are ahead.
Endorsed by President Trump. Austin Terrio for Congress.
I'm Austin Terrio, and I approve this message.
Acadia Gem EV Rentals, the clean, all-electric, and fun way to see Bar Harbor and Acadia National Park. Gem vehicles are 100% electric, low-speed vehicles that are street legal on any paved road with a posted speed limit of 35 miles an hour or less. You will enjoy all the beauty of the island without leaving a carbon footprint. Gem rentals are available in 2, 4, and 6 passenger vehicles. Visit acadiagem.com or call 207-288-8983.
When Rowell's Garage in Dover Foxcroft wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Rowell's Garage has been serving customers in the greater Dover Foxcroft region since 1946. Our goal is not just selling you a vehicle, but also giving you quality service to maintain your vehicle at peak performance.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith, and today is Monday, June 10th, 2024, and today is National Iced Tea Day. 1904 has been recorded as the first year Americans had this refreshing caffeinated drink, with visitors at the St. Louis World's Fair being offered it because of the heat. It was a new invention at the time, but it's been popular ever since word got out. Okay, now for some history. On this day in 1692, the Salem witch trials were underway, and the first victim, Bridget Bishop, was hanged for witchcraft in the colony of Massachusetts. I just went to see a rendition of The Crucible by Opera in the Pines. That was in southern Maine. But The Crucible is, of course, a story about the Salem witch trials, and it was a fascinating one, and it was an opera, which made it very cool as well. Highly suggest if you get the chance. All right, moving on now. In 1772, Rhode Islanders in the American colonies boarded and sank the British revenue cutter, the Gaspee, in the Narragansett Bay. In 1752, Benjamin Franklin tested his historic and memorable lightning conductor with his kite flying experiment. In 1933, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt issued an executive order making Mount Rushmore in the Black Hills of South Dakota part of the National Park Service. In 1935, the group Alcoholics Anonymous was founded in Akron, Ohio. In 1940, Italy, under the rule of Benito Mussolini, declared war against France and Great Britain, entering World War I. In 1966, Janis Joplin played her first gig with Big Brother and the Holding Company at the Avalon Ballroom in San Francisco. Definitely one of my favorites of all time. She's gone too soon. In 2007, the last episode of The Sopranos aired on HBO. I think a lot of people would also say that TV show and James Gandolfini are gone too soon as well. Okay, for birthdays today, we have model and actress Kate Upton. She's 32 years old today. Comedian and actor Bill Burr is 56 today, kind of a controversial guy. And actress Kate Flannery, known best for her role as Meredith on The Office, is 60 years old today. Happy birthday to them. All right, moving right along now, I'd say Benjamin Franklin probably can conduct one of those experiments today and tomorrow. There is a possibility of thunderstorms, some lightning, but mainly just the possibility of rain. So let's check in with meteorologist Evan Biggs for that forecast.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by SR1 Companies. Visit SR1 in Herman, Turner, Manchester, and Orono for the best prices on trailers, campers, and tractors, heavy equipment, and more. SR1 Companies, where New England's largest selection meets unbeatable prices. All right, let's get into things this morning. Some areas of dense fog greeting us near parts of Bar Harbor, maybe over in parts of Washington County this morning. This will all begin to taper off coming up later on today, as we'll also be watching out for chances for showers. Looks like we've had some of that developing last night. Looks like we'll have a little bit more developing this morning and again this afternoon with this area low pressure rotating off to the north. Now give us some showers in the northern parts of the state as well as in the southern parts of the state as well. Let's zoom things out. That's mainly the main action right now. This area low pressure here setting some showers in our direction as well as some showers and storms over parts of the Atlantic Ocean at this time. Futurecast moving forward again. Scattered showers on the way for us today. Things calm down later on tonight as we'll be under a mostly clear sky with areas of dense fog possible across the region. As for the winds, they'll pick up a little bit today with sustained winds getting close to around 12 miles per hour at times with gusts up to 20 miles per hour possible at times as well. So coming up for today, lower 70s, mostly cloudy, showers possible with that west wind getting up to around 20 miles per hour at times. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period showing a mixture of clouds and sunshine, scattered showers for the afternoon period, temperatures in the 70s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Emma?
Thank you, Devin. Switching gears now, Delaney Dunn has been racing cars since she was just 15 years old, and now at 25, she's still called Kiddo by the locals. But don't let that fool you, because there's nothing juvenile about her need for speed. Check it out.
Oh, I would do it all year long. If I could go all the way down south during the winter time and get away from the snow up here and go racing, I would. If I could race all year round, I would.
Delaney Dunn has come a long way in her decade of racing. Winning her first ever Sport 4 feature event at Speedway 95 on Saturday, which is the fastest class for 4-cylinder engine cars. But that doesn't mean she isn't capable of slowing down. When asked how she won this last race, she said,
I had to go slow to go fast, because you can burn the tires off if you try going fast when you really shouldn't be. That's where it puts excess wear and tear on the car.
But still, that doesn't mean she's always learned the easy way.
She ruined quite a few cars getting to this point, but...
Do you think that's normal?
It really is. I mean, racing, everybody, I mean, I've wrecked quite a few cars now, too, so it happens. That's part of racing.
That was Delaney's dad, who's one of her most essential team members. But she has a lot of support, and part of the fun to her is being able to show that support right back.
We're a family race team. My dad raced before I did, and my cousin Jeff races in the cage runner division currently. My half-brother is getting into racing, into the cars as well, so it's a family affair.
And their goals for the competition and the sport are reflective of that mutual support.
We're really just out to have fun, you know. I told her, if we're not having fun, then we're not going to do it anymore.
Delaney's next race at Speedway 95 is on Saturday, June 22nd. You can watch her there, racing her 1996 Acura Integra called Bear. In Herman, I'm Emma Smith for ABC 7 and Fox 22. That was a lot of fun to work on. Delaney is awesome. And of course, it's a little bit dated now. I said on Saturday she won her Sport 4 race. That was last Saturday. This aired on Friday. So like I said, I think the next race is about 2 weeks away. I think in the 22nd. I think that's what I said. But yeah, much to look forward to at Speedway 95 if that's what you're into. And along a similar line, right after the break, Ryan Sudol will have the latest with sports. We'll be right back.
Every night is pizza night at Dragonfire Pizza. From wings, salads, and sides to our specialty wood-fired pizzas. You'll find everything you need to satisfy any craving by the slice or by the pie. A little slice of heaven is waiting for you at Dragonfire Pizza, Mill Mall, Ellsworth.
When it comes to the whole home heat pump rebates from Efficiency Maine, there's money on the table for everyone, and the experts at Valley Home Services are here to help you get your share. Even if you received a rebate in the past, you can still take advantage of this program with a new Fujitsu heat pump for your whole house. And no matter your income, there's a rebate for you. Let the folks at Valley Home Services lay out a Fujitsu heat pump plan for you, so you can start saving on heating and cooling for your home. Don't leave money on the table. Call Valley Home Services today and get your rebate instantly.
Commercial vehicles can be dangerous, and they usually carry big insurance policies. So whether you're hurt by a landscaping truck like this, a work van like this, or a big rig like this, we know commercial vehicle accidents, and we know how to get you the big money you may deserve. If any commercial vehicle hurts you, call the twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a commercial vehicle? Call the twos. We win for you. Call 222-2222.
Every night is pizza night at Dragonfire Pizza. From wings, salads, and sides to our specialty wood-fired pizzas. You'll find everything you need to satisfy any craving by the slice or by the pie. A little slice of heaven is waiting for you at Dragonfire Pizza, Mill Mall, Ellsworth.
There's a Shoremaster or Polydock system that's right for you, and you'll find it at Hammond Lumber Company.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for joining us. The Boston Celtics defeating the Dallas Mavericks in Game 2 of the NBA Finals Sunday night. They are halfway to an NBA championship. Speaking of champions, let's go to some high school tennis. Saturday marking the B North Regional Championships and the Boys C North Championship. Caribou defeating Waterville in the B North Girls Final at Bangor High in the morning. Let's go to the dry confines of Armstrong Tennis Center for the other two matches. Starting with the B North Boys Final between top seed MDI and number 2 Caribou, looking for the sweep there. Second doubles, Eli Hansberry and Caden Sweet of MDI against Caribou's James Bennett and Landon Spooner. Bennett the return here, but Sweet with some sweet placement on this shot. Trojans win in straight sets. Second singles, MDI's Jamison Weir against Ben Bouchard. Bouchard sends this one high into the air, and Weir just spikes it down and in for the point. He wins on straight sets. Over to first singles, Caribou's Sammy Bear against Owen Kelly. Kelly a lob, and that sets up Bear for a ripper that just stays in. He wins that match. But before that, First doubles, Caribou's Abe Bouchard and Landon Waldemerson against Riley Donahue and Caden Braun. Braun spikes Bouchard's return with authority. Championship point. Trojans win B North 4-1.
We've been looking forward for this match for pretty much the whole season, and now we're here, so it's awesome.
Our coach wasn't able to be here today, and we really wanted that, to be able to go to States and be with him for one last match.
Now to the C North Boys Final, defending champs top seed Orono against the 3 seed Washington Academy. Third singles, Orono's Bergen Soderberg against Unai Reno. Soderberg putting it right where it needs to be for the point. He wins the match. Second doubles, Orono's Al Cutter Wise and Wes Krause against Ashton Whitney and Zach Perkins. Wise sends this in, but Whitney says at the net. Point Raiders, they win this match. First singles now, Raiders Alejandro Rodriguez against Henry Boutens. Boutens shoots it high in the air, but Rodriguez comes on and makes Boutens swing and miss on the return. Match goes to Rodriguez, but by the time that was over, the Riots had clinched. Nick Agarwal against Colton Whitney at second singles. Agarwal somehow keeps that one in, and it forces Whitney off. The return is out. He goes on to win the match and clinch the title for the Riots, 3-2. Head to the Diamond for some Saturday night baseball. That afternoon rain we got forcing 2 high school regional semifinals to 7 p.m. starts, one of which Class A North semifinal between 8-seed Brewer and 4-seed Bangor. Bangor looking for redemption for their upset loss against the Witches to end their regular season. Top 3, Witches up 2-0. Hunter Merrithew cuts this one into right. It drops. Logan Littlefield scores 3-0 Witches. Bottom 3, it's 3-1 now. Bases loaded for Teddy Stevenson, but Caden Morin gets him looking to end the threat. Bottom 4, it's 3-2. Jack Shook, a line drive to deep center field. That gets down near the wall. Gavin Glanville-True scores easily to tie the game up at 3. A couple batters later, Scotty Sakabason, a base hit up the middle. Shook is going to round third and slide home to make it 4-3 Rams. Bangor back to the North Final, 7-3 the final. Now over to Hedrick Field. Brewer kind enough to host this C North semifinal between top seed Foxcroft Academy and 4-seed Bucksport. Top first, bases loaded for Bucksport's Ryan Winchester, but Calvin Landry comes up huge with the strikeout to retire the side. Top second, Ada McGuire up for the Bucks. Grounder to Jaden Richard at short, but the throw goes awry. Bo Proventure scores. It's 1-0 Bucksport. Bottom second, Gavin Holyoke on the mound does the darn thing, striking out the side here. A 10K complete game one-hitter for him. Top 3 now. McGuire again, this time a base hit into right. Rounding third is Proventure. He's going to slide in safely. It's 2-0. Bucksport is going to go for their 3rd straight regional title. They win 6-0. And now for some other scores from the area. Class B North Baseball semifinals. Ellsworth, the top seed, over MDI 5-3. Class A North Softball semifinals. Oxford Hills over Hamden Academy 7-3. Class D South Baseball semis. St. Dom 6-0 over PCHS Greenville. And PVHS defeating Jonesport Beals in the Class D North Softball semis 12-2. And finally, let's hit the track. The New England High School Track and Field Championships being held down at the University of New Hampshire Saturday. Plenty of Northern Mainers there. Let's take a look at some of the notable top finishers from the region. Okay, starting with the girls, T.N. Ewings from Holton, second in the 3200, as always close behind in fourth, Orono's Ruth White. Natasha Monreal from Bucksport, sixth in the long jump, Ava Goulette of PCHS 12th in the discus, and Bangor's 4x100 relay team finishes 14th. Also, Taylor Pelletier from Wyndham, winning triple jump, first place there. Now to the boys, Bucksport's Will Heilman, 10th in the 1600, Sumner's Caleb Colson, 8th in the 800, Miles Burr from MDI, 11th in the 200, Joseph Richard from Winslow, a bronze in the 400. Will Rush from Madomic Valley, 4th in the triple jump. Billy Albertson from Skowhegan finishes 8th in the same event. All right, that's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Hood is the cottage cheese lovers love.
Start with our award-winning country style. It's delicious on its own, or like this. That. Even, sure. Plus, it's got more protein than hummus and less sugar than yogurt. Then there's Hood's flavors. We expertly blend in real fruit or savory herbs for an unbeatable taste combination you can't recreate at home. Now that's cottage cheese. Hood cottage cheese. Always good, always Hood.
At Spectrum, we know that internet is a vital tool to help you fulfill your dreams.
My dream is to become a video game developer.
My dream is to get my online college degree. Unfortunately, federal funding for the Affordable Connectivity Program is ending. That's why Spectrum designed affordable internet and mobile solutions to keep you connected. We are committed to delivering reliable, affordable internet and unlimited mobile to keep you connected to what matters most to you.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Students and teachers from Belfast Area High School tested underwater sea gliders they built with support from UMaine's RISE Center. Our Doug Banks has the story.
Under the waters of Belfast Area High School is a sea glide built by two students.
And it basically has a ballast, and it's a water bottle with like wings on it. And it's supposed to float up, and then when the ballast fills, it goes down and it glides forward and backward because there's no actual propulsion on it.
That is controlled by an Arduino microcontroller and is controlling a syringe that will allow you to take water in to make the glider less buoyant, so it sinks, and then when the water gets pushed out by a servo motor controlled by the Arduino, then that's going to push the water out, make it more buoyant, and then it'll float to the surface.
With a $1.35 million grant from the National Science Foundation, Belfast educators collaborated with UMaine's RISE Center and their project, Coastal Tracers.
The work with the University of Maine is a 3-year project, and this last school year was the first year of that project.
Plans are already underway for UMaine's program to expand across the state.
It's going from Kittery to Lubeck, so we have a pretty good range. Approximately 20 teachers joining on for the second cohort, and it's going to be starting off in the summer, and that's where we'll get to meet all of the new teachers. They'll get to talk with the Belfast teachers, learn about what's been going on for the past year and a half, 2 years.
Friday's test was a culmination of hard work from the students.
Yeah, I like this class a lot. It's one of my favorite classes because you just get to build like pretty much what you want to build.
Hard work, they hope, will pay off tomorrow.
Work with the city, perhaps, to inform policy about what's going on in the Bay and how things are changing, and what storms are doing, for example, in the Bay and things like that.
In Belfast, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Very cool. All sorts of smart ones coming out of Belfast Area High School. Love to see it. All right, now here's meteorologist Evan Biggs with one final look at our full forecast.
All righty, Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by SR1 Companies. Visit SR1 in Herman, Turner, Manchester, and Orono for the best prices on trailers, campers, tractors, heavy equipment, and more. SR1 Companies, where New England's largest selection meets unbeatable prices. Already, wave heights is checking on those this morning at around 2 to 4 feet according to the buoys out there. For now, we have no advisories in effect offshore or onshore for that matter as well. Meanwhile, though, we do have some areas of dense fog, very localized in a few spots this morning near parts of Bar Harbor and maybe in parts of Washington County as well. Whatever's developing out there will be going away coming up later on today. And meanwhile, though, we are going to be watching for showers that will be moving in. We have an area low pressure up in parts of Canada right now, sending rain into northern parts of Maine and as well as in the southern parts as well. Once we reach the central parts of the state, we're seeing a few showers developing. We'll see a few more of those developing on and off throughout the daytime period as that area low pressure slowly but surely tracks off towards the north and east. It's not really moving all that quickly. It's also causing some showers and storms across parts of the Atlantic Ocean. We're even seeing a little bit more activity in the southern parts of the U.S. as well. So futurecast moving forward for us. We have the showers on the way, especially in the northern parts of the state today. We have a little bit more in our neck of the woods as well. Coming up later on tonight, we will calm things down. Mostly clear skies, areas of dense fog possible to watch out for as we head towards early Tuesday morning. Otherwise, so maybe a few showers again for Tuesday afternoon with, again, mostly cloudy with a few showers as we get some of that daytime heating going. But notice again, this all gets out of here by Tuesday night. Some clouds and fog possible again Tuesday night and the parts of Wednesday morning. So as for the rainfall for today, some spots, especially in the northern parts of the state, could see up to 1/4 of an inch, if not more, before we're all finished up. Lower amounts possible further down toward the south. Then running this through for the rest of the week, a little bit more rainfall, but most of it will stay in the northern parts of the state. Otherwise, though, some gusty winds possible today, reaching up around 25 miles per hour at times. At its peak, most of us should stop at around 20 miles per hour before the winds back off later on tonight. And maybe a little bit of wind on the way, especially near the coastline as we head towards the daytime tomorrow. So the forecast coming up for today, lower 70s, mostly cloudy, showers on the way, and that west wind gusting up to around 20 miles per hour at its maximum at times. Later on tonight, lower 50s, mostly clear areas of dense fog possible, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Tomorrow, here we go, partly cloudy, a few showers possible again with the daytime heating. Highs in the upper 70s, that southwest wind getting up to around 5 miles per hour. All right, let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by SR1 Companies, showing showers and thunderstorms possible on Wednesday with highs in the upper 70s. Lower 80s for your Thursday under a partly cloudy sky. More showers and thunderstorms possible Friday with highs in the upper 70s.
What's not to like about Maine? It's nice to just pick a road and see where it goes. When you go on a motorcycle ride and you wake up in a helicopter, you know it's not a good day. I broke this arm, this shoulder was shattered, this wrist was broken, I had a concussion. Whether it's your fault or someone else's fault, the only thing you have working for you at that moment is what you have on. If I didn't have all my gear on, I wouldn't be sitting here. There's no way.
Taylor Events and Equipment Rental in Bangor for all your wedding and events, tents, tables, chairs, and more. Also see us for your home project equipment rentals. Taylor Events and Equipment Rental, 1179 Hammond Street in Bangor.
For taking on New England's extreme conditions, Toyota has more hybrid all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive models than any other brand. No wonder Toyota has sold 5 times more hybrids than its nearest competitor. Like the rugged Tundra Hybrid, available with 437 horsepower and advanced technology. Take on extreme conditions with Toyota's proven hybrid technology. See your New England Toyota dealer, your hybrid all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
From a humble horse and buggy beginning over 100 years ago to a fleet of modern deluxe motor coaches today, Sear North Star Tours wants to take you places. In Maine, throughout the United States, and abroad, we offer tours and day trips to suit everyone's interests and passions. Cherry blossoms in the spring, Prince Edward Island in the summer, trips to the city, trips to the shore, culture, history, music, and more. Sear North Star Tours. Where can we take you?
Welcome to the NBA's grandest stage.
When the situation gets real, the real one's gonna show up.
These two teams decide who will be the NBA champion.
Tip it off, set it off. The NBA Finals on ABC.
Good Morning America is next on ABC 7. If you missed anything, you can head to foxbangor.com and you can stay with us for the second hour of Good Morning Maine. That's next on Fox 22. Have a great day.
Ready to create your backyard oasis? Alexander's Professional Landscaping will work with you to create your perfect outdoor space. Work one-on-one with our landscape designer to create a unique garden to fit your family's personal aesthetics and lifestyle. Have our pros install your new lawn, deck, or patio. Schedule a consultation today by calling 573-4497. Alexander's Professional Landscaping, the way landscaping should be. On the Road, broadcasting the news at 6, live from Glenburn, is sponsored by University of Maine Early College, tuition-free online courses for high school students, umaine.edu/earlycollege. Old Town Redemption, offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. And Dill's Outdoors, now open at 2354 Broadway in Bangor, also offering pizza, beer, and more.
My name is Michelle Potter. When my partner of 20 years died unexpectedly at the age of 49, Cindy at Brighton Kelly Funeral Home is the one who helped me. My first meeting with Cindy started as a blur. So much stuff was going on and I was really in shock. but she immediately started helping me. I started to feel like things were not completely hopeless. Cindy offered me really useful counsel, and she also offered me her grief support group. When I met with Cindy, I felt recognized and validated. She is very professional and went above and beyond. In her grief group, Cindy committed so much time to all of us. I can still hear her and the helpful information she shared with me. Cindy helped me recognize how important and good life still is. At the time, I wasn't ready for individual counseling. Cindy helped me and got me ready. She is so intuitive and personable. Cindy is not at all what I thought a funeral director would be.
Bragdon Kelly Funeral Homes. Let our family serve yours.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Great Northwoods to the Rockmount Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, an accident in Presque Isle leaves one man dead following a medical event that led to a crash. Plus, a massive trove of documents was released regarding the Lewiston mass shooting that could shed more light on the tragic event. And a local Maine group is working to start launching rockets of their own into space. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith and thank you very much for tuning in this Monday morning. Let's get a check of that forecast with meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by SR1 Companies. Visit SR1 in Herman, Turner, Manchester, and Orono for the best prices on trailers, campers, and tractors, heavy equipment, and more. SR1 Companies, where New England